Hello, welcome to this episode of Home Together. You find me in our lovely new office space loaned to us by our friends at Duns Parish Church. I'll give you a look around and hopefully we'll find Mark hard at work in the actual office. So this is the outer office. It's a lovely space for meetings and other activities, but the real work goes on in here. Mark, are you all right? Mark, wake up! Mark, we're filming for Home Together. Nothing. Right. This might do it. Come on. Hi Mark, I'm glad you managed to get yourself dried off and got some dry clothes on. Here, have a coffee to warm up after all of that.
Thanks, Stuart, and thanks for waking me up.
Oh, well, yeah.
Welcome to this episode of Home Together. It was great to see some of you recently at Home Together Live. Here's a little snapshot of some of the things that we got up to.
Oh, that looked really great. I'm so sorry that I couldn't be there for that one.
Yeah, we missed you, Stuart.
Oh, thanks. Now, Mark, have we got a challenge for today's episode?
Absolutely, Stuart. We always do. And here it is. This is a listening challenge. In your pack, you'll find a card that looks just like this. It is a sound scavenger hunt. You might not find all these sounds in one place or even on one day, but head out and about, and when you find one, tick it off and see how long it takes you to collect them all. There are 9 sounds to find at the top, and at the bottom there are 3 slightly bigger boxes. Find a sound that's loud, a sound that's quiet, and a sound that's funny, and write or draw what you heard in each of the boxes below. Let us know how you get on with this one. If you'd like to record yourself making a favourite sound, send it to us and we'll put them into the next episode. See you in a minute.
That was great fun.
We had a bit of fun at the beginning of this episode with Stuart waking me up. And that's all because today's story is about someone who was woken up in quite a surprising way. Samuel.
This is Samuel. He is a boy who lives serving God and working for the high priest Eli. God is pleased with Samuel. Eli. This is Eli. He is a chief priest. His job is to lead the people in worshipping and living for God. Eli has 2 sons who are terrible priests. They are selfish, they cheat, they steal, and they have no respect for God. God has warned Eli about them, but Eli hasn't listened to God, and he has done nothing about his sons.
Eli,
What is it, Samuel?
I'm here, you called me.
I didn't call you, go back to bed. So Samuel went back to bed. But after a while,
Samuel. Samuel.
Eli, I'm here, you called me again.
my boy, I didn't call you, go back and lie down. Samuel lay down again. Later on,
Samuel.
Eli.
at this point, Eli realizes something. If he wasn't calling Samuel, maybe it was God. Samuel, go and lie down again. And if someone calls you again, say, "Speak, Lord, I am listening."
Samuel.
Speak, Lord, I'm listening.
Then God spoke to Samuel and gave him an important message to pass on to Eli, that he and his sons would not live much longer and someone else would lead the people. In the morning, Samuel opened up the doors to the Lord's house, but he was worried to tell Eli what he had heard. Then Eli called to him, "Samuel, my son."
Here I am.
"What did the Lord say to you? Don't hide anything from me." So Samuel told Eli everything he had heard from God. Then Eli said, "Let God do what he thinks is best." As Samuel grew up, God still spoke to him, and he knew God. Everything he said came true, and eventually Samuel took over from Eli as God's chosen leader.
What a really interesting story.
Yes, and very different to our last episode with Naomi and Ruth, where God doesn't actually speak directly to anyone.
Oh, that's right. But I think we did realise, didn't we, that God was working kind of in the background and working through Naomi and Ruth and Boaz and the people in that story. I mean, God was there, but you're right, he didn't actually directly speak.
No. Whereas in this story, even though in the Bible it starts by saying, in those days the word of the Lord was rare, God does speak, and he speaks directly to the young boy Samuel.
Yeah, who was a bit surprised but hadn't had to learn that it was God speaking to him. But he did that. And then what was really interesting, though, because then God also speaks to Eli, but he speaks to him through the boy Samuel.
And this story has been written down in the Bible that we now have, and actually God speaks to us through what is written in this book.
And I think that is the experience of many people, that reading a Bible story or seeing one acted out, perhaps even in our Home Together series, that story, sometimes something in it catches our imaginations or makes sense to us or gives us something to really think about, so that we can say, God speaks to me through his written word in this story.
Yeah. As Christians, many of us would say that just like in Samuel's story, we believe God does speak to individuals. He speaks to us through other people, and he definitely speaks to us through the words we have in the Bible.
And like the boy Samuel, maybe we need to be ready to listen to God so we hear him when he speaks to us.
I wonder what he might be saying to each of us today. Maybe even through the story that we've explored together.
Well, we'll leave you with that thought while we move on to some activities that are all about listening and hearing.
So it's over to Sarah, and it's goodbye from us.
Yeah, goodbye.
Hi everyone, welcome back. As Stuart just said, we're going to have some activities to think about listening and hearing. So some sound-based activities today. So in your pack, first of all, you should have 2 lolly sticks. You're going to need those. You should have 2 little elastic bands as well. And then what you're going to need is a few bits of paper. So I've just got some scrap bits of paper. You could just chop out some bits from your envelope if you like. So you need 2 kind of small bits of scrap paper, and then 1 slightly bigger piece that we're going to fold in half and in half again. That wants to be around about the size of your lolly stick, because that is going to go in between the 2. We're going to make like a lolly stick sandwich. So once you've done this part with the long bit of paper inside, you're going to take your smaller pieces of paper, fold them up, and they're going to just make 2 little rectangles, and they want to be about the same kind of width as your lollipop stick. So you're going to have lolly stick, long piece of paper. This gets a wee bit fiddly. You can always, grown-ups, give them a hand if you need to. Then you're going to stick your little rectangles in between. They're going to go both ends. I can't do them both at once though. And your lolly stick again on top. Now I'm going to do one end and then the other. Then you're going to wrap your elastic band round this end. Now it's really important that that goes to this side of your little bit of your wedge of paper there. So you've got elastic band this side and a little bit of paper here. Then you're going to go along to the other end. Stick your other little wedge of paper in there. Jiggle it along a bit so it's not too near the end. And then your last elastic band is going to go round this end. So that's what you should have. Then you have made a little lollipop stick harmonica. So all you need to do then is you're just going to blow into it and see if you can get a nice tune. So the second activity in your pack this time involves your piece of string. That is all you've got from us. You will need a spoon. Could be any size of spoon, as long as it is metal. I picked this one because it's got a nice bit on the end, so it makes it nice and easy. You'll see in a wee second. And you'll also need a pencil or maybe a wooden spoon or a chopstick, anything that you can use to hit something with. So all you're going to do this time, you're going to tie your string to your spoon in about the middle of your string. It doesn't have to be too tight. And make sure you've got it nice and even on each side. Once you've tied your string to your spoon, you're going to need a friend to help you. So one of you is going to hold the spoon and you're going to put the string just over your fingers like this, and you're going to place it, your fingers, on, not in your ears, on your ears. I'm going to give this to Mark. You might find it easier to stand it. So once your friend has got their fingers on their ears ready with the string touching their ears, you're going to take a pencil or a wooden spoon. If you've got a drumstick at home, that would be a really good thing to use. And you're going to gently tap the spoon. Now all we can hear is a little ding. What you can hear if you're holding that string is very different. You can give it a shot with different size spoons, different size hitting objects. It's up to you. Give it a shot. Let us know how you get on as usual on the Facebook page. We would love to see or hear some of your creations this time. We'll see you later. Bye.